So you've got a scooter, you could get it from your grand?
Yeah.
And you could come to the parade maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll come to the parade.
You want to come to the parade as
As
well?
long as my mum says yes,
Well, shall I give you the information? You can pass it on to your parents.
Yeah.
So this is it. You can have this, you can pop that in your bag as well.
Thank you. Sure, I turned it into a livid.
Nice. Trainers?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. There's one with the Camelon badge on it if you prefer.
Yeah.
You want that? What about yourself? What would you like? In this kind of check your scissors. A big horse?
No, should I put more on it?
I'd put one more big one here in green with scales.
Okay.
Yeah?
Oh, it's love.
It says, it's going to say, always love your friends.
Oh, very nice.
Not even a good football player, I bet
I know, they used to have like it back in the
you ain't one of them. It's about Bob
Marley?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the...
No, it's fine.
About Bob Marley.
You got a shot there, you can do it.
He got shot, but he never died from the shot. Blood. I did. Always eat healthy.
Yeah, that's perfect, yeah. Yeah, that's it. You need a... yeah.
It's giant.
I'll just write it
Look, it's giant. I have a coffin. I made the horse Jesus this. What? Look at this. She's a bed.
Yeah, I put it on to see what it is. It's really horrible. Mayonnaise? No? What have we got? We'll draw a sad face in the middle of that. It would look really cool. Yes, you're alright. So we've...
got this sort of arm strength you need. But I think I want to make a big pour as well. So I think exactly.
But do like some like all the bits?
So we've got up until this spot.
The only bits that are
Yeah, just step back a little bit.
It's follow the instructions. You need to jump like on two legs, spin around, and you need to hop on one leg.
But that... Yeah. Well, better by, I think I left a bad taste. I've never been
For a circle.
Oh, what's it called?
How big do you want the circle to be?
As long as you can do.
As long as like, are you joking?
But
So-
you like have to use the whole rope.
Where do you want the circle to be?
And then you could tape the yellow over that.
Well done, Fred. Well, we're gonna make a traffic light. A traffic light.
Hi everyone!
Hola.
My name's Daniela, and this is...
Oh, I'm Gregor. Nice to meet you.
I'm Theon. Hi.
And we're going to be doing some art with you this evening. So the art is collaging. Have you ever done collaging before?
No.
No? So collaging is when you put together different images to make a full image. And we're doing this because we're we're wanting to make some artwork that might go up in the bus stop at the front, just outside here. And some of these images that you're making might become part of the artwork for that bus stop. Yeah? So we wanted to include some of your ideas in it. Yeah? So, Theo and Greg are going to explain a little bit more about what's going to happen, but we've got lots of tables around here, and they've all got bits and pieces on them, and we're going to be cutting together and making composite images. Okay? Making pictures together. Yeah?
What is it that makes these, what do you want the image to say? Does that make sense? So why would you have a zombie, what does it mean? So just try and make it, you know, you're at the bus stop, maybe you want to learn about something, you know? So here's some Roman sayings that you could maybe put in. Seize the day, never despair.
Well, I guess we provided the stickers, and then all we said was that make a kind of like image of something that they were kind of proud of, or something, or something that they enjoyed about the local area, or you know what it's like to live here.
Yeah, it was pretty free as well. I mean, it's like kind of the energy of the workshop sort of means that you're not like, they weren't really, it wasn't actually the most focused really, it was kind of about energy, and like people sort of directed it themselves. When we peeled one off to show them, that's when like the energy went through the roof.
This is our second one that we're doing.
Okay, cool.
You did one, I did one, now we're doing one together.
I did one about crossing the road safely.
Well, there are two ways of viewing it. Basically, you can either view it as like, you know how there's a big Asda in Falkirk?
Right, yeah.
This is like stuff that it sells,
Or you
but
can
there's
view
also
it as a waste.
Asda food waste.
Yeah, it was nice because you could start with like, there was just different ways of starting each bit of work. You know, you could start with like, they could pick a bit of text that they liked, you know, that they thought was like relevant, and then they drew something from that or something, or they chose an image and then they came up with a bit of text to kind of, to match it, you know. So it was like, it was maybe like less daunting or something than just being like, draw for me, you know, draw something. Like,
they understood it really quickly. That's what we were talking about the other day as well. Like they just totally got how simple it could be, how sort of daft it could be, how like, you know, sort of make what they want and directed it that way. And yeah, it's quite striking. They sort of knew like what a good image was. Like some of the real simple ones are like pretty cool.
Yeah, I just need to colour in my grapes. Not grapes. Yeah, they're meant to be grapes, but they don't look like grapes.
is this one nearly finished then?
Yeah.
And this is what Roman artifacts found at Camelon Tesco site.
Yeah.
And what did they find?
I just thought of what her mum would find in Tesco.
And what did you find?
Lemons.
Lemons.
Yeah,
I think so too.
it's about a bus.
Yeah, it'd be nice if people spoke a wee bit more on the bus, I suppose. Be
Yeah,
a bit quiet. I suppose school buses are quite busy. People
That's
shout a
not
lot.
quiet.
Yeah. I like the stuff. I mean, I like the stuff that says stuff about boredom, because I just think that's like, yeah, something that I kind of remember a lot being young, just not being able to do what I wanted to do, and it's, you know, it's kind of weirdly comforting to know that it's still the case.
And I think a lot of them are like quite deliberate, you know. It definitely shows like a kind of like good sense of humour or something. And I think that's like, there's like loads of them that are just like really funny, you know.
Yeah. We were saying a lot of them look like sort of contemporary painting exhibitions, you know, like the symbols, sort of motifs coming round again, and yeah, definitely. The mixture of the marks is pretty modern as well, I think, you know, like digital imagery and hand painted. But you're right, that was totally an interesting element of the project, was like trying to anticipate what like, the kids might be into, and then seeing what it was that they did like and what they weren't so interested in.
We also had the idea of just using like sort of templates that have been used by these like football stickers before. So like the 9 Danker kind of symbol or sticker, and it's just kind of up to them to sort of I don't know, use that in a way that they thought was fitting or something, or give it like a new meaning. And I think that's again stuff that makes it quite funny or something. All these could be bus stops. Like there's so many good ones.
draw something here. What do you think?
And I really like the fact and that the scale is direct relates to the village. I don't know why, but I like that. I don't think my friends have actually seen it. Like, there's a chance that one of my friends has seen it, and the first thing you'll probably see is the text.
You will, chop.
The one thing I would like to say is thanks for choosing me.
Oh no, not at all. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay! No. On Mondays and Thursdays, I'll see this. And it'll make me hungry.
There's a lot of talent in Camelon, and it's a shame we didn't get to show it. We've got dancers, we've got singers, we've got a writer. He's written an amazing book, and he's going to do another book. And it's a shame folk think they just drive through Camelon. But the younger generation, because it's incoming, and as I said, it used to be a village, but it's huge now. We've got this part, we've got Tamfourhill, which they are amazing, and then we've got the sort of oak tree bit there. Oh, the history is just, I mean, Winston Churchill was here, and Thomas Clement Douglas, do you know him?
I don't know.
What? Thomas Clement Douglas was born down at Sunnyside, just across the road, and he went to Canada. He is the most famous man in Canada because he started the National Health. It's a different name, and he is Kiefer Sutherland's granddad. So we called our cafe the Thomas Clement Douglas Cafe, so I'm proud to be a Mariner. Carnmuir's Primary. Oh my goodness, that's taking me back, seeing the older buildings again. Loved it. The early learning, that's just there, just across the road. Oh look, we sometimes get good weather. Doesn't happen very often.
Do you recognise any names at all, or are they all?
Yep, Jackie. And we know the indoor bowling. That's Abby that I was talking to earlier. And that was just amazing getting that done. See, clever folk in Camelon, tell you.
So my name is Jakub Bigański, and I am a designer, pretty much. Currently I'm an apprentice at DS Graphics, a graduate from Fort Valley College. It was a really fun project. It was something that kind of tested a bit of graphic design skills in a very short period of time. It was a nice challenge, and it was really nice to see people actually submitting a lot of the images, actually seeing a lot of that kind of a creative spark in the community too, actually having people do things as well, and it was absolutely a blast. Not only it brings the community together, but it kind of brings that entire kind of a segment that Camelon is actually a really nice place, because community actually does quite a lot. It brings that sort of a thing to it that it shows that people are creative as well. It brings out creativity out of people, because when they're told that they can submit a photo, they're gonna pick like one of the better ones or something. Or even the fact that people can actually show their work somewhere is also quite of a good thing. So in general, community projects, I think that they just work really well.
So I'm Dan Rouse, I'm the community coach with our place Camelon and Tamfourhill, and it's my job to work with individuals and organisations in the area, and just to promote the area, to celebrate the area, to help people to get new skills, to help organisations to grow, and basically just make Camelon and Tamfourhill even better places to live in. So the calendar, a great project. This is one of many ideas that we've had about celebrating the area, because we feel we don't get celebrated enough in this place. And this was a good way for showcasing local people's photography talents as well, and showcasing all the sites around the area. So this has been great to bring local people, to bring pictures of the local area. We've even found a local graphic designer who's pulled it all together, and profits from this will go to support local projects as well. So if we didn't say local enough in there, this is definitely a local project. Love that it's been called Local Wonders, which really just sums up what it's all about. There's some great contributions in there. One really special point of this for me is that I think possibly the first person to contribute a photo to this was a guy called Joe Bruce, who ran, amongst any other things, he's been well known, he's officially known as Joe for Camelon. And sadly he passed away just about a month or so ago. But his contribution is in there, so this is almost like a little tribute to him. He also ran a Facebook group called the Camelon Area in Pictures and Memories. So it's really fitting that he's featured in this. So this becomes a tribute to him, as well as showcasing the sites, the people, and everything else from in the area.
Because I didn't grow up here, I'm originally from Denny, but I think the community here is really good. Everybody seems to muck in, especially like with the whole pandemic and everything. Like the community centre, we do a lot in general, we do a lot with the children, and we also do a lot like for food provision and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of them do really like the art, and I remember when Camelon Arts came in, they really enjoyed it. And it's good to see, because some children have came in and they've been a bit nervous, and they've thought, we've got a few children who just moved into the area, and like their mums have kind of encouraged them to come, but you can tell that they don't want to. But it's then nice to see them gaining their confidence and getting new friends and feeling quite happy to be with them, so that's good.
So my name is Emma. I go to Falkirk High School. I've been involved in the virtual reality project, which has included like making videos and working as a team to collaborate ideas, and the end product being like a 360-degree film.
I think you can give yourself a long walk up. Yeah, maybe for your little...
So in the film, it's almost a battle between the climate change heroes and the villains, and it's almost like a game. So different, when the points get added up, it's a tie, and that kind of shows the viewer that it's almost up to them to decide who wins the battle, because you don't know what the outcome of climate change is, and just people's actions can make a difference.
Do we have some kind of, you wanted reveal from behind hoods, stroke dressing gowns?
So I've really enjoyed being a part of the virtual reality project, because I'd never experienced something like this, and it was just great being able to work as a team to come up with a video. Well, it just really showed me that small impacts, like small actions, can lead to big impacts on the environment.
I am Rebecca Livesey-Wright. I am a socially engaged artist, creative practitioner based in Glasgow. We worked with Rainbow Muslim Women's Group, Thrive, and some play groups to come up with phrases that kind of represented the individual experience of motherhood. And we used those phrases to print onto t-shirts, tea towels and tote bags. using block lettering and fabric paints, and also some stenciling and fabric pens as well. So everybody had something that they could take home with them. And we looked at other artists' work as inspiration. So phrases we looked at and phrases we created ranged from things that were funny and light-hearted, like eating carrots helps you see in the dark, to things that were a little bit more, I want to say meaningful, but maybe that's the wrong word, but things such as, you won't remember this. So phrases that kind of capture a longer kind of like experience of motherhood. And it was really rewarding as a mum myself to kind of like have that opportunity to really sit with lots and lots of different mums and talk about what motherhood is and some of their funny little moments, or the bigger kind of like deeper experiences of motherhood. And most of the women we worked with at first were maybe a bit shy about coming up with ideas or even just like getting creative, but honestly by the end of like every session everybody had come up with something that I think they were really proud of and I think looked really, really beautiful. So yeah, it's just nice to give adults a chance to get creative as well.
So on the banner we already had a tree, and that's why we chose to draw flowers, and those flowers' roots are interconnected, so they are, growing from the same roots. So, well, obviously I'm only 20 years old, and being a mom to a 16-month-old is pretty challenging, and I do feel like we are kind of growing up together, so experiencing new things and exploring the world together, and it just represents us.
So the first group to add to the banner was the Rainbow Muslim Women's Group, and the phrase that they wanted to put on was the mother is a cool shade, and they decided to write their phrase in Urdu, and it kind of, the phrase kind of means like you can always come back to your mom whenever you want to. You can come back for comfort and security. You can always come and sit by her and she'll protect you and look after you. The second group was the Supporting Falkirk Young Parents Project. And this phrase, growing up together with the two flowers, was initially one of the designs that one of the participants put on a t-shirt, but the group felt that it really represented their collective experience, and also it tied in really well with the whole nature theme. So then it was the baby and toddler group at the Tamfourhill Community Hub. We worked with the parents, but did a wee bit with the kids as well. Again, running with the theme. They wanted to include something that used Scots dialect because we have the Urdu, so they wanted to represent their language as well. So they came up with the phrase, a dirty Wayne is a happy bairn. That was something that lots of their parents had said to them, and again encapsulated that idea that like you just got to let your kids get mucky, something that they all believed in that group. So next it was the parent programme Tamfourhill. We had been talking a lot in that group about having kids at different ages. So some had kids who were about 2, some in kind of like the mid-age range, like 8 to 10, and then some whose kids were a wee bit older at 13. So their experience kind of like spanned the full kind of like childhood age range. And something they felt they heard quite a lot was it gets easier, and with kids at each of the ages they were like, no it doesn't. It doesn't get easier. So they wanted to add it gets easier with these 3 question marks. We decided to put it at the top in blue because we sort of thought of it tying back into that nature theme with like blue sky thinking, like it's this big hopeful phrase that actually doesn't really feel very true, but it's something to hold on to. The next phrase was the Tamfourhill Cooking Group, and we actually worked with a mum and a daughter on this group, so we had like an intergenerational session. The daughter was a grown-up daughter, and we had been looking at some inspiration from other artists, and one mother artist had embroidered, eat your carrots, they help you see in the dark. And it had reminded the daughter in this group that her mum, who was also in the group, said to her, broccoli is the trees and make you grow tall. So we thought that was just a funny wee thing to add to the banner. So the last group we worked with was Thrive, which is a project that works with mums to build on their confidence and self-esteem and improve their mental health. So they had come up with this phrase, believe in yourself and you will grow, which just kind of like came out really quickly from a discussion. Again, we wanted something that tied in with the nature theme, but also tied in with their experience as a group, looking at their mental health. And I think this is like a really nice summary to the banner. It kind of ties it all together. Yeah, it's quite hopeful as well. And we stars and clouds to kind of, again, represent that hopeful future. That's all the phrase is.
Hi, I'm Mark Blakely. I'm an artist and choreographer. I was one of the artists that began at Camelon Arts in 2019. During the end of my role, what I started developing is an idea called All Games Allowed. We'd kind of been doing lots of work with John, thinking about Camelon Junior's area as a potential place to develop some art projects for, and it came to me that maybe we need to look at sports as a way to kind of bridge the gap between creativity and like community events and community practices. So I developed a workshop program called All Games Allowed, which was taking inspiration from all the floor drawings and markings that you have in football pitches, badminton courts, and all those sorts of things. I always see these when I go and do like dance classes or something like that when I'm in school halls teaching, and you see all these patterns everywhere and they just look amazing, and it inspired me to think of maybe we can create our own games or get young people to make their own games out of these, kind of remixing them up. I'm a dancer, so I've always been trying to find ways to get people to dance without knowing. In October we did a sort of informal version of that down at Camelon Juniors Football Club in the car park, as a way to think about like that as a public space and maybe how we could fill it up with activities for young people, and it could be related to the football team because there's like a sports influence there. So today we're painting some of the final versions of these designs. 3 of them that we've got some people down here helping us out on. It's like a scooter race course, a sort of game that asks you to either play like the floor is lava or move around like you're in space. And then we've got another one called Atomic Races, which is like kind of a simple game where you've got 3 different race courses you do. One's for hopping, one's for running, one's for dancing.
Yeah, so I'm John Hosey, the Community Safety Engager. So I'm employed for the Our Place project, which is a lottery funded project, and I'm directly employed by the Tamfourhill Tenants and Residents Organisation. So my business is trying to support the community, make it a safer, happier, more attractive place to live. I think the key to our approach is that the solutions lie within the community themselves. So they have the first-hand experience of what the priorities are, what the issues are, and with some support and often resourcing, the community is the best way to resolve some of that. I think humour's probably important, because if you didn't laugh you'd cry at a lot of the issues, and there's no point, you know, avoiding the fact that poverty is a significant issue in this community and inequality. But in terms of creativity, I think about giving people a voice and using the arts in the broadest sense to articulate issues can be quite an empowering process. And certainly it's certainly woven through the community safety strategy that, you know, looking at issues from a creative point of view and empowering people to have a voice through that and to do activities that change the community positively and the environment of the community positively.